Sony PS4 February 20th, 2013 preview? What the heck is this? What's up guys, welcome back to ReviewSpace, and I just watched a 45-second See the Future ad commercial for I guess some sort of Sony preview. And considering that Sony is telling us to see the future, and you got this kind of new age, newfangled cryptic freaking ad that had this, you know, the Sony logos with the symbols, the classic symbols of the triangle and the X and the square and the circle. I mean, the thing just looks so high-tech and so flashy, but very very vague, you know. I mean, you don't know what's going on here. Hey, this is the PS4. I mean, this has got to be the PS4 because people have been expecting some kind of PS4 related announcement. And right now I'm reading this article on GameSpot again, of course. And you guys can check out the teaser video yourself. So it's really nothing. It doesn't really show anything. You know, just this little freaking music that goes, and it just shows like little flash of the I don't know, the Sony logo designs, and I don't know. Doesn't really have anything. A previous report suggested Sony would hold an Apple-style press event in March to unveil the PlayStation 4. Analyst consensus is that the PS4, along with the Xbox 720, will be announced in the coming months and released during the back half of this year. Speculation about the PS4 has run rampant. Previous and unconfirmed reports suggest the system may block or in some way inhibit users from playing second-hand games. Still, other speculation suggests the console will introduce a new controller that could feature a rear touchpad and a share button. Well, that's nice and everything. I mean, that sounds just about right. I mean, this is what you would expect. You know, the funny thing is, you know, because it's 2013, I'm in my mid-20s. I'm 25. You know, and it's like my brain is still sort of stuck in that time span between like 2006, 2007, and to the present. Like, I'm still 20 when I was in my 20s, like early 20s. It's still kind of fresh, you know. It's still kind of new, you know, like 5 years back. It's not such a long gap between when I was younger, you know, back when I was maybe around 10 years old, and then when I turned 15. You know, when you're younger, everything just, a year seems like a really long time. So back in the day, generation gaps between systems, you know, Sony coming out, the original PlayStation 1 coming out around, you know, 94, 95, and then the PS2 coming out in 2000. That's a 5-year gap, but I was a lot younger then. So my mind, you know, comprehending that time, the gap between releases, it actually felt big. It felt significant. It felt like, wow, the next age of console is upon us. Wow, I can't wait to see the PS2. It's so much more powerful than the PS1. And that goes along with every other systems back in the day. Like the 90s and the early 2000s, there was a significant feel of change, and you know, the winds of change between systems. You could feel that generation gap. Here, you know, now in 2013, I know I think I'm just getting older. You know, I'm getting older. It doesn't feel so long ago when the PS3 came out. Like, when I think of the PS3, I still picture this high-tech system, this current-gen, powerful system that is state-of-the-art, you know, that still has amazing graphics, and by large extent, it is still a powerful system. I mean, you take a look at the PS3 games and the graphics and the HDMI and the Blu-ray, it still is a very impressive thing. There was a big difference, too, between like the PS1 and PS2 graphics. There was a significant kind of like, holy crap, that looks amazing. evolution in graphics and technology. Whereas now, maybe if you show me PS4 related graphics, you know, I might even confuse it with PS3 or Wii U graphics. You know, I'll be just like, it looks great, but it doesn't look like a significant change or evolution in graphics in comparison to the current generation, like the 360 and the PS3. There's not a massive difference. And I think, yeah, that's part of, I'm just getting older, technology has gotten better overall, where it's harder to kind of leapfrog over the current generation. And so, I mean, I can't, you know, speak too much yet, because I really haven't seen anything from the PS4. It could be the greatest thing in the world, you know, like Crysis 3.5 level graphics, you know what I mean? Just completely, a lot more realistic, a lot more smooth looking, a lot more higher resolution than anything else, and completely realistic, to the point that I confuse it with real life, like, wow, that's photorealistic. That's possible too, but, you know, looking at the Wii U and what it can do and its graphics, and it's like, yeah, I don't really expect a huge difference. Like, I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be awesome, but I mean, again, you know, I'm still sort of stuck in that 2006 mentality, you know, that kind of 5-6 years ago, you know, I'm still sort of, you know, like I'm always checking up on Craigslist, you know, looking at video game stuff for sale, you know, things that, systems that I could bundle, and I was maybe flirting with the idea of buying a PS3 again. I saw this one for like 220 bucks, this bundle of PS3. It was like 160 gigs, you know, a couple of controllers with HDMI, and it had like 10 games, you know, just a little over 200 bucks. And, you know, this was, I mean, just about a year and a half ago, in, you know, mid-late 2011, I sold my slim PS3 120 gigs with one controller, no games, and just, you know, with an HDMI cable for 200 bucks. $200. It wasn't, you know,